Hello, and welcome back to another Jollymun Podcast. I'm Alfie Carter. I think this is podcast 22, and this is and it's also the 22nd of April 2020. So there's a lot of twos going on today, and that's always fun because second the best, as we all know. And I've got a couple of stories quickly. I've had a couple run-ins with the animal kingdom in the last 12 hours. Last night I came into the kitchen to do the washing up, simple task. And a mouse runs across the counter, so I jump. I'm like, woof, right? And then another mouse runs out from another place, and I'm like, woof, again. So I do a double woof, right? As you can probably picture, and that was really quite intimidating. But anyway, they were all friendly. Their tails kind of wiggled and oscillated as they ran around the place. But yeah, not cool. And this morning, man, oh my god. So I went. This is my second run-in with the animal kingdom. I walked into the kitchen again. This all goes on in the kitchen. I'm gonna cook an omelette, and I turn on the hot tap to wash my hands because I got a bit of egg on them. And I see the movement out. I don't. My eyes are a circle, so I'm not gonna say the corner of my eye, but the corner of my vision. And there's a massive spider in the sink, right? And I've got I think I've got arachnophobia. Like seriously, because actually I screamed, I hop, I'm on my tiptoes, my gastrocnemius is contracted involuntarily. I'm now about about 3 inches taller than I usually am. I'm freaking out. I've got my chest is kind of puffed out. I'm doing that elephant thing when their ears flap out, but I'm a human, so I'm not. And I turn the tap on, and obviously I jump back, but I turn the hot tap on. So this poor dude in the sink, right? He's like flailing around in the hot water, going spider-like, and I'm flailing around in the air, going because of the spider. I'm scared of them. Except he's in great pain, and I was being a bitch. But yeah, it was something. It was something else. And then I spent the next. Well, I cooked my omelette. My heart was still beating, but I cook. For me, cooking an omelette it's a happy space for me. You can kind of picture that. So I was there cooking my omelette, and then I was like, oh man, I need to get that spider out the sink. He's still there. He's dead. He's not moving. He's doing that thing. He's not moving, and I will go to the bin because I'm gonna scoop him out. I don't use my hands because that really freaked me out. Even then, just the idea of doing it kind of gave me goosebumps. Just then, I'm genuinely scared of spiders, and so I walk over to the bin, and I get one of the half eggshells that I just cracked the egg out of. That's why there's no more egg in there. And so I walk over to this kind of disgruntled spider. Its legs are all going in different directions. He's kind of balled up a little bit. Anyway, so I get close. I'm getting closer and closer with this little egg cup, this little egg that I'm going to scoop him. Anyway, on the spider's back, he had these 6 dots, and I just looked at them, and they looked like eyes, and it really freaked me out again. So then I hop backwards. This went on for genuinely about 10 minutes, and I was talking to myself. I was getting really philosophical. I was like, come on, Alfie, this is just a difficulty in your life, something you're going to have to overcome. Fear is purely in the mind, and this spider is a physical entity, and so are you, so why should that dictate how you're behaving? Right? This is just how I try and do things, try and think about it a bit. Anyway, no matter how many books I read, I wouldn't have been able to overcome my fear, okay? And I've only read a few books anyway, so there was the wisdom never stood a chance, is what I'm saying. Okay, the irrational fear, way too powerful. Anyway, and I ended up, I was like, man, this egg is the length of this egg is not great enough it doesn't create a great enough chasm between me and the spider. This eggshell, right? So I'm like, man, I think I'm gonna have to use a spatula here. I don't want to use a spatula because this is after I cooked my bread. I've told the story wrong. I'd eat my omelette at this point, so I had a happy moment for 2 minutes, eating my omelette. Man, it was a great one. And I was like, but back to reality. Bang, I'm back. And so I'm like, I don't use a spatula because then the spatula will get spider extract on it, and that's not what I like my spatulas to be like. And so then I realised that was such a dumb thing to say, because actually the spider's already in the damn sink. Okay, so now the sink's got spider extract on it, so the spatula on it, if I'm going to wash the spatula in the sink, then the sink's already got the spider on it. So just Alfie, get over yourself, man. shuffle this little 8-legged foe into the bin. And I did. I put my spatula, flicked him in the bin. Now I went upstairs, researched some economics. No, I was looking at stocks. I'm trying to understand the stock market, and it keeps moving up and down. It's quite hard to understand something when it keeps moving, but then I guess you have to understand why it's moving. Lots of numbers, lots of middle-aged men on YouTube pointing at graphs. I mean, it's quite fun. It's alright. They, they kind of smile. They try and throw in a few jokes. One guy had like an emoticon pillow of like a turd, and he was like, "Oh, those were the bad things." And he held up. So I was like, "Man, you poor guy, poor old man." Hey, but hats off for him. Hats off and hairlines out for that guy. He was just trying to educate me. It was actually quite a good video as well. But yeah, so that was my morning. It's now about 12:30, I believe. Let me just have a quick look. 12:20, 18:12 to be more specific. That's quite a nice time. And yeah, really, the animal, I don't know, man. There's something about, I think it's, I'm not scared of mice, like, I think it's when you walk into a kitchen, you don't expect anything to move, okay? Like, a kitchen is a very static environment, especially at midnight, which is when I went in there. So to see something dark around the place, it's just like, oh, my safe space has been, what's it called? Perpetrated. Let me look, I don't know what that word means. Perpetrated, I think that's the right word. I was going to say penetrated, but, I don't think that's quite right. Yeah. So, I'm really excited, because my bike, right? You need to understand my bike over there. It's over there in the shed out there, with the lock on it. It's got no brake. Its brakes don't function and the gears don't work, and it's stuck in a perpetual low gear. So if I'm sitting on the bike and I have my feet on the pedals and I do that thing where you turn them around, I'm whizzing. My legs go around more than the wheels do. I feel like a bit of a fool, and I've got a helmet on, so I just look like an absolute punk, right? Idiot, right? Yeah, and because my legs are moving so fast, it means my head wobbles from side to side like a damn pendulum while I'm cycling down the high street. So I'm going to take it to a bike shop because I got a little bit of self-respect, just a couple drops. And but yeah, the bike shop's still open. I don't know if they're allowed to be. That's okay, because I guess some people, I don't know, maybe some NHS workers cycle to the wards. I was going to try and fix my bike myself, but I kind of don't trust I'm not the best. I'm not very patient, you see, when it comes to like looking at a problem and going, like socially, kind of, I find that stuff really fun. But when it becomes to actual like mechanical, like fixing things, it's not something I thrive at. I haven't got the patience, and I'm not very delicate with my hands. I'm very kind of like apply a lot of brute force and hope that the brake just fixes itself, That's why I give it to a professional. He's a nice man. He's opened up his bike shop a long time ago, opposite my house where I used to live. I think his name's Adam. He's got loads of bikes. These bike shops, the amount of bikes he's stored in that room, really impeccable. He's got them lining the walls, lining the floors, lining the ceiling, they're hanging down from the ceiling. I feel like I'm in a bike tunnel. And I don't mean a tunnel for bikes, I mean a tunnel made out of bikes. It's very odd. It's cool though. Most of the time bikes are on my level, not in that place. They are above my head. Back to the quarantine bants. Quarantine's still going. Beautiful day. I'm gonna go for a walk after this, I think. Or maybe I'll take the washing up, hoover 2 rooms, then go for a walk. That sounds lovely. Yeah. I've also been, I'm trying to, phones are so damn annoying, man. Those phones, the ones you turn on, you just sit there, you look at all the other people doing things that you kind of are semi-interested in, or either that, or you're watching other people do things which you have no interest in, and you're so bemused, I don't even know what that means, by the fact that they're doing it. That's why you're watching it. Like, oh, this woman has painted her nails with her homemade nails made out of eggshell, and you're like, wow. Then it kind of briefly talks about like the chemical structure of eggshells and why it can be applied to nails, keratin, something like that. It's a load of rubbish. So I've locked my phone away, I've turned it off, it's done. No one even contacts me anyway. Literally, like I've got like 3 friends. Never any urgency. One of them never uses their phone anyway. Absolutely. Okay, that's another story. Okay, that's a wound that I don't want to open now. One of them, yeah, 2 of them I should, I do contact. So I suppose I'm being a bit silly there. But imagine how much fun it is to record a podcast. You don't need a phone. You can sit here, talk about your terrors in the kitchen, your kitchen-based terrors, your I used a spatula as a weapon. No, it wasn't a weapon. What was it? I don't know. How would you describe how I used a spatula to move the dead body? It was like as a tool, but we always use it as a tool. Maybe there's nothing special about my spatula utilization. Spatula. I think spatula is a really funny word, by the way. If you want to try and be funny, use the word spatula in most contexts as you can. If you're talking about chefs, use spatula. You're saying, oh, like, dude, like one of my friends, he did it. He was on someone I knew recently, and he was on a what's it called? He's learning to be a chef, like a cooking apprenticeship. Anyway, he quit the apprenticeship because it wasn't very good. He's not the most kind of consistent guy. So he quit the apprenticeship, and you can make a joke like, oh, he hung up the apron, put down the spatula, as opposed to, I don't know, hung up his boots, whatever. So it's a little bit funnier than something else you could say. Couple tips there. I realise I'm not the greatest at this stuff. 11 minutes. What else have I written down? Humbling of the. To be fair, actually, normally I do write stuff down for the podcast, but today I've really got better, and I'm so proud of myself. I haven't written anything down today. To be fair, I have had quite a lot of experiences to relay, but I've had a great time, and it's going really. It's been a nice one this time. I feel like my investments are starting to pay off, and we ain't talking finance, baby. Oh yeah, this is the only thing I've written down. So I was watching Bill Burr, right, one of my favorite comedians, but more as a person, he resonates within me, not physically. I found him a bit silly because he was saying, oh, I did my special in the Royal Albert Hall. Oh yeah, and he goes, oh, it was so humbling. And people say this. They say, oh, I won the race and it was so humbling. Or I got all top grades and it was so humbling. I don't understand how this is humbling. Surely this is the most narcissifying, like, ha kind of thing ever. How does that humble you? For me, humbling is going on stage bombing for 5 minutes in front of 40 people you don't know, then having to sit next to your friend on the bus back for another hour while they try and consolidate. You'd be like, oh yeah, wasn't that bad, yeah, it was fine, yeah, you're early on. That's humbling. That's when you realise, yeah, I suppose I'm not as great as I thought I was. Maybe I won't sell out auditoriums within the next week. Perhaps I'm going to be in pubs in London for the next year and a half, trying to make people laugh. That's humbling. Not oh yeah, I sold out Royal Albert Hall 3 nights in a row and then made millions of dollars off a special, which was pretty good, but I think he's done better before. But it was still a good special. I enjoyed it. He said something which just, oh man, I genuinely almost cried when he said it, because I was just like, you do not understand how much I relate. Not relate's the wrong word. How much I connect with what you just said. It's something like, people are like, oh, wow, how did you go? Like, you're being angry, and how did you go from 0 to 100? It's like something like he idles at 75, and I was just like, yes, I really want you to know, Bill Burr, that I felt that. I mean, you see it everywhere, cliche. Oh, I felt that. No, but I really felt that, and I was like, oh my god, this guy actually has experienced what I experienced, which doesn't happen very often. It's seldom that explicit, or that it's so blatant. Anyway, one of my favourite comics. Other favourite comics, so Burr, I like Chappelle, I like Norm Macdonald, I like Paul Foot, and what's that? That's 4. 5th, I don't know. I like all kinds. I like loads of stand up. Those are my 4. Anyway, everyone, it was really lovely to spend the last 14 minutes and a few more seconds with you, and I hope you all have a lovely day. I'm gonna try and get 2 podcasts out a week. And so yeah, have a great quarantine and keep smiling. Bye bye.